standalone portable gear. There are a lot of them available now on the market, some with some similar features and workflows, and others that are unique within themselves. I guess I become an unofficial collector of portable standalone gear, and out of these portable units, the most recent was the 1010 Music Bento. If you haven't heard of it, I will link a video down in my description. But now there's a new kid on the block. Yeah, the MPC Sample. I know I'm a little late to the party, but I'm here nonetheless. So I know by the time you see this video, YouTube has been flooded with tons of content concerning this little monster here. I want to talk about a few of the features that caught my eye, share a few tips, and in conclusion, I want to talk about a few future hopeful updates I would like to see added to this. I just want to take this moment to give a quick shout out. I really appreciate the coffee. I'm glad that the 1010 Music Bento video, you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing which standalone device you decide to go with. So please stay in touch, and again, thank you for the cup of coffee. It really means a lot, and I appreciate you supporting the channel. This video is not sponsored by Akai. They did not send me this. I purchased it with my own money. Firsthand, I know a lot of people are saying that, hey, it looks like a toy. It looks like a calculator. But I can honestly say this ain't that. You can tell a lot of times just when you pick up a piece of gear, the quality of the gear. When I took this out of the box, the first piece of gear that came to my mind was the OP1 Field. This thing, when as soon as you touch it, you can feel the quality of the piece of equipment just from picking it up. And I tell you, I had the same feeling when I took this, when I just picked it up out of the box. I was like, oh, you can feel the quality. I'm not quite sure why people are saying it's light. It's light compared to an MPC 1 or MPC Live, but this thing has some heft to it. It feels solid. And me owning a lot of the MPCs, I got the MPC Key 61, I got the MPC 1, I got the MPC Key 37.
I can't look away, I can't look away. I'm feeling high, da-da-da. Tell me, do you feel it?
And I can give it to Akai on this, man. They built this thing really well. The quality of it, it has that OP1 or Digitag. Even the 1010 Music Bento, when you hold it, you feel the quality of the product right out the box. So hey, kudos, Akai, you guys did that. This is one of the best feeling MPCs I've touched.
Ways of supporting. You showing up every time I release a new video is greatly appreciated, so thanks for that. You can always drop a comment to get a discussion going. I also have the I Make Beats store, where you will find gear tutorials, quick step guides, and sample pack expansions. There are also purchase affiliate links in the description, so if you're thinking about scoring new gear, feel free to use the links below at no extra cost to you. It really does help the channel. And by all means, feel free to just buy me a cup of coffee. The link will be in the description. Cream and sugar, please.
Now, I know a lot of people have been comparing the MPC Sample to the KO2 and the SP404 Mark II. But for me, it was neither one of those that came to mind. And now that I've had it and have experienced it firsthand, the standalone gear that is competitively competing with this for me is the 1010 Music Bento. The Bento is double the price. It has a touch screen and granular engine. To me, workflow is everything. And like the Bento, the MPC Sample has a very friendly workflow. Now, I've never used the KO2, but I do also own the SP404 Mark II. And let me tell you, the workflow is like doing calculus. I'm really impressed with how Akai gave us the ability to set the levels and the panning for each pad, but they also gave us the ability to set the filter. Now, on this particular kit, I didn't set filters just so I can kind of demonstrate, but on this kick drum here, let's go ahead and set up a low pass, okay? So now when we play these two kicks now, we'll see this filter change. And I think that is so dope because you can bake that in to your template. So let's go ahead and look over here at the hi-hats. I'm just showing you real quickly. There's no filter there. So let's put a high pass on this one. Just for demonstration purposes, put a high pass on this one as well. Just to demonstrate. So let's just say that I decide I want to change this hi-hat because I have that filter set there, right? Once you set your volumes and your pans and your filters, it doesn't matter if you change the instrument. The settings will still be there. I think Akai made it very simple for us to connect the MPC sample to our computer and upload our own sample libraries. Yeah. The Little Keys Essential Sample Pack sounds amazing on the MPC Sample. If you guys are interested in getting that sample pack, I'll have a link in the description, or you can click the card up here. With any of my standalone gear, I've learned to add to my workflow to make it simpler to help with my creative process. And what I mean by that is all MPCs, we know when you turn them on, in this case, the MPC Sample, when you turn it on, if you've already created a project, when you turn this thing on, it's going to load the last project you were in. But if you're trying to create something new, you have to hold shift, go to project, and create, load a new project. And the new project is empty. There's nothing in there. And I found in my workflow over the years that we waste a lot of time looking for the kick, looking for the snare, looking for the hi-hat, looking for the crash cymbal, blah blah blah. So what I've done is I've always created a startup template for all my devices, because a lot of times I got this melody or this groove in my head, and I don't want to be wasting a lot of time trying to load up the drums and find a bass and so forth. So I recommend, my tip to you is create you a startup template. Now I'm going to tell you something that's really dope about the MPC sample that I noticed when I was creating my startup template. But what I found is that once you load your kick, snare, hi-hat, claps, whatever samples you're loading, what I've done in my template, the loudness of the kick drum is going to be different than the loudness of my hi-hat or my clap. So in my templates, I also set the volume levels for each of those instruments. I don't want to have to do that every time I create a new project. We know that on a drum set, each individual piece of the drum are positioned in a certain area, right, of the drum set. So we know that the kick drum is in the center of the drum set, so its panning should be in the middle. But the snare is not in the middle of the drum set; it's offset. So I've not only set the different volume levels for each of the drum sounds, but I've also panned them in the right position based on where they kind of sit in the drum set, if you understand what I'm saying. So in my template, those parameters are saved. So every time I load my project template, I don't have to pan anything. I don't have to set any of the levels. It's already there, set and baked into my template. So we got the drum loop. We got the guitar kind of, background loop or chimes or whatever. But if you notice, I was hitting these two at the same time. And that's cool, but Akai added a feature to the MPC sample that's called pad link. So instead of me having to hit both of these, I could trigger one of these and both of them would play. I think that feature is just clean. So when you're in the sample mode, at the top here, it says its default is tune. So if I hit that twice, we now enter the play mode. Now at the bottom of the screen, you have mono, mute group, and offset. But if I hold shift, this middle one will change from mute group to link. So basically, because I've selected the drum pad, I'm telling the MPC sample that when I hit the drum loop pad, which is pad 2, I want pad 6 to also trigger. So because I've already have this one selected, when I hold down the shift button, I'm going to select the pad that I also want to trigger when I hit this pad. Okay, so I just now selected link 6. So now when I hit this loop, it triggers also my melodic sample. I think that is fire. And this can work with, different types of snares or claps. You may have that clap on a pad, but there may be another clap that you want to play at other intervals in your sequence. So you can hit your clap at its regular interval, but then when you want them both to play, you can just hit one pad. I think that's clean. All right, for those of you that don't already know this about the MPC sample, okay, it works. It's a sequencer, of course, right? And the default setting is 1 bar. So we know when we turn the knob here, let me turn the knob on my other hand here. When we turn the knob here, it goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, then 16, 32, etc. 64, all the way up to 128. The cool little tip I want to share is, some of you may not know this, but sometimes you want to create sequences or have a bar count that isn't an even number. Well, Akai added that feature. I think it's pretty cool. So where instead of you going from 1 to 4, 4 to 8, and so forth in groups of 4, you can have odd number of bars. And the way you do that, let's say if I wanted 5 bars, I would hold shift and then turn the knob. And now I can get that 9, 11, 7, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a pretty cool tip I wanted to share. Oh, and if Akai, if you're listening, go ahead and give us a new MPC Key 37 while you're at it. I'm ready to place my order right now.
Yeah. I'm new on the block. I'm new on the block. Yeah. I'm new on the block and I'm kicking down doors. Boot prints on concrete, hams shake through the floors. Black hoodie low, got the whole town tense. Eyes on the corner where the weak get rent. I don't talk much, I let the look say it all. Got a chip on my back and a scar on the jaw. Cold nights taught me how to move in the rain. Smile too nice, get your hands in the chain. They want peace, but I came with a storm. Left the old me buried in the jacket torn. Back with the hunger they can never ignore. I'm new on the block and I'm kicking down doors.
As much as I have enjoyed my OG MPC Key 37, I'm really excited about the direction Akai is moving in. For the longest time, in my opinion, there was only one keyboard workstation that no other keyboard has ever come close to. And that would be the Open Labs Nico. To this day, it remains the most powerful keyboard workstation ever created. Unfortunately, the company Open Labs no longer makes these keyboards. I did own one at one point in time, and I'm kind of sad that I don't still have it. However, I have to say Akai has finally stepped up to the plate. The new MPC Key 37 Gen 2 is so far, in my opinion, the next best keyboard workstation available on the market in comparison to the Nico at a fraction of the price. Let's talk about a few of the features that I love about the new Gen 2. The key bed feels a lot more lightweight or softer compared to the OG MPC Key 37. And the DAW view, what I call the DAW view, the arrange view feature, besides the Nico and the Chord Chronos, drop a comment if you believe I'm wrong, but as far as I know, the new MPC Key 37 Gen 2 is the only keyboard on the market offering that DAW-like workflow. We all know that the MPC has always had a step sequencer, but giving us a physical step sequencer button is a welcomed addition. So for those of us that aren't the best finger drummers, I believe that the step sequencer is the next best way to create great sounding drum breaks and drum fills, which in my opinion gives the drum loops a more humanistic feel, and so that they don't sound so repetitive. I do realize I'm not the best finger drummer. I never professed to be. It's not necessarily my strong point or weak point. However, I find that when I combine my finger drumming with a drum pattern, I get this unpredictable, more humanistic style of drums. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the step sequencer, and I'm going to program in kick, snare, hi-hat, cymbal, etc. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go into arrange. There's the drum pattern I just created. I'm going to duplicate that. So now it's giving me 8 bars. So it automatically moved to bar 5 through 8 for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to erase this section and then fill it in with the drum pattern from one of my drum pattern charts. I'll leave a link in the description for those of you who are interested in grabbing a copy of that. All right, so I went ahead and erased the drum information that was between bars 5 and the end of 8. So now we're blank here. And what we want to do now is we want to go into the step sequencer, and I want to hit pad select. I'll put the chart here so you can kind of follow along. I have my first kick is on step 1. Then it goes 9 and 11, I believe. Okay, a quick little note. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't. When you go into the step sequencer, you need to be cognizant of your time correct settings. And what I mean by that is, if I had this, when I was doing the hi-hats earlier, I had them on eighths. So let's go to eighths, okay? I'm gonna hit do it. Now, I'm gonna play it because I put the kick drum, I have 2 kick drums, but I put the first kick drum on step 1. But watch what happens, because my division is only eighths, so it's only gonna count up to 8. You won't even hear the snares because the time division isn't correct. See how I just looped back and didn't even play the snares? So remember, in 1 bar, there are 16 steps. But because I'm on 8th division, it's only giving me 8 steps. So I got to make sure that I change this to 16ths so that I get 16 steps in 1 bar. Just wanted to throw that out there, because if you don't, then the drum pattern chart won't work. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and put this in there. We had the first kick on step 1, and then the other kick, that one, is on 9 and 11. So let's go ahead and just drop that in there. 9, 11, and we should have that. All right, so what I want to do, just to keep it simple and make it quick, I'm going to go into arrange, and I'm going to grab that and just duplicate it all the way out. All right, so now we should have, oops. All right. So we're going to go back to the drum pattern chart, and we're going to add the snares and hi-hats. We're going to do the snares, and it's saying 5, 8, and 13. So let's go ahead and 5, 8, and 13. We should have. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into arrange, and I'm going to just keep it simple. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make it real simple. I'm going to just put everything in one bar and then just duplicate it. That'll make it a lot faster. So, all right. So duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. All right. So one more time, just gonna do the first bar. Now we're gonna do our hi-hats. And back to the chart, we have this one. We'll do this one. Every other one. So we'll go back to the step sequencer, and we're gonna go selected that one. So we got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 14, 15. Now let's get creative. So when we bring it all together, but what we're going to do now is we're going to continue with this. I'm going to add some simple chords in there. The 6 2 5 1. Okay, so that's the chord progression, but I'm not going to play it in its basic form. So we're going to add some extensions, and we're also going to be placing secondary dominants in between those 4 chords.
Take your chord progressions from this to this. Get the secondary dominant flowchart and elevate your chords.
Those secondary dominants are sounding really good, but I kind of erased the section here. I'm going to play it through, and there's a chord I want to add in. I'm in Analog Dreams, one of the plugins. I'm in the leads, the big. Yeah. Akai, man, thumbs up. These sounds are amazing. I'm glad you guys have teamed up with Native Instruments. Sometimes the sound can just, it can just create a vibe. That right there is fire. Let's go ahead and add a drum fill. The last bar, should I say, the last 4 beats of measure 8. So we have our snare on 5, 6, 8, 10, 13, and 14. All right. Then we have a low tom, or a low tom and a mid tom. So we got to grab those samples. But we also have our kick, which is pad 1. Go ahead and do pad select. And we're going to take that off. And our kick is on 1 and 3. We're using this one. And I think that will be it. We just have to get the cymbal ride and the low and mid tom. I also love the ability to be able to search quickly through the onboard sounds. I'm in the classic drum machines. I typed in mid tom and it gave me a list of all these different toms. Let's go with that one. I kind of like that one. Just load that one. I'm going to save it to this pad. All right. So now we got that tom there. That's the mid. Let's go find a low tom. All right. So I got a mid tom here. And we're going to place it on 11. And then we have a low tom. And that one is on 15. All right. Let's load that over here. Let me go to the mixer. Actually, we want to go to pad mixer. Bring that up. And we know the ride is on 1 and 3. We go to pass select 1 and 3, and this is what we get. All right, let's bring it all together. All right, moving on to the last part of this video. And I know this was not a real, me making a beat type of video. This was just me kind of talking about the features and giving you guys a few tips that I thought would help your workflows. But moving into some of the future hopefuls, some of the things that I would like to hopefully see Akai add to this, and EA Ski and Bolo, they said it the best. This is what it is. We don't want to add too much to it, but it would be nice, in my opinion. But I did put a request in after talking to the technician. As soon as it started updating and it came back, I was like, oh gosh, thank you. So I told him, hey, you know what? Disregard my last, what we were talking about. So it actually booted up. Normally I was able to update it and get it out of update mode. But I want to say, and he was very, very nice. So shout out to you. He was like, hey, I said, I got a request. Please push this up the ladder. Just like there is a update mode button sequence, my request to him, and he said, yeah, I'm going to definitely push this up. And this is going to be dope if they do this. I really hope Akai is listening. I hope they take this into consideration, because it'll save them some time too, because they don't have a hotline that we can call and just reach out to a tech. So what I requested was, just like they have a button configuration to put the MPC in update mode, it would also be nice, for whatever reason, if we have a glitch or there's something wrong with the MPC, we have plenty of hard drive space on here. The update files are not that big. So my request was, give us a pre-power button configuration, and with all that space that we have, place a default factory executable file on the MPC. So when we do this G14 classified button thing before we power it on, just like we do for the update mode, it will automatically reset the MPC to a factory default. And they could just make the factory default 1.2.1, just it was the one before this one. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily have to go all the way back to 1.1.1.9, but whichever one they decided to use, all I said was just give the user at least that ability to manually or forcefully reset it to the factory default. Because right now, currently, the only way to correct any errors is you got to connect it to the computer, and you got to go through this whole chicken dance. And it was, again, my butt cheeks was squinching. Hopefully in the next or in any future updates that Kai implements this, because it would save them a lot of tickets and communicating through email. And it's very difficult and frustrating trying to get answers. It's not like you're on the phone call with them. Even when they do reach out, you're still conversating through an email. And so hopefully they give us this. That's all I got. Other than that, the MPC sample is dope. It is a standalone beast. I'm happy that I got it, and I'm looking forward to creating more content on this. Let me know in the comments, your thoughts, any issues you've had, something you want me to talk about along the line of the MPC sample or any of the standalone gear that you saw on this channel, and I'll be glad to do that. So in a nutshell, I'm happy with this upgrade, and I'm excited to see what Akai brings in next. I'm looking forward to the next update down the road. Let me know how you feel about what Akai is doing. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell, all that, and I'll talk to you in the comments. This is I Make Beats. Keep making better music.